Good day, everybody. Rob here, WesternPacificWeather.com. Currently right around 1000 Philippine time. That's 02 Zulu for the rest of you in the world here. And it's the 18th of October, 2010. And the reason why I specify this date, because this is one of those dates you're going to remember for a long time. We have one of the strongest typhoons on record actually making landfall off the northeast coast of Luzon right now, just north of Palanan, here up in the northeast coast of the region. Current winds out of the system gusting right up around 175 knots, with sustained winds actually at 145 knots right in the core of the eye wall right in here. So a very intense and dangerous storm right now. Let's just put this in perspective. This is stronger than what Katrina was that hit the States a few years ago. So this storm is just a devastating storm right now, making landfall just north of Palanan here in northeast Luzon. And I do want to note that this storm has actually made a wobble to the southwest here. We were expecting to make landfall just south of Santa Ana and Apari here yesterday, but looks like probably due to a friction here over Luzon, and also the subtropical ridge to the north kind of built in slightly. So this has moved this storm slightly to the south, about 100 miles just north of Palanan, but still typhoon strength winds are extending out several hundred miles around for the core. And here showing the most recent viz shot from NTStat here. Outer rain bands are also extending clear down to Manila in southern Luzon here, so you're not quite in the safe here as far as rainfall and the possibility of tornadoes in these outer rain bands. Another thing I want to note though is that the strong typhoon strength winds are near the eye wall right in here, and it's going to be making landfall here in northeast Luzon. But tropical storm force winds are actually extending far out from that region, clear down in this region right in here. So the possibility of tropical storm force winds, which is basically 34 knots or greater, is very likely here in the metropolitan area of Manila. Here's the most recent warning from JTWC showing winds at 145 gusting up to 175 knots. So already stated very severe super typhoon right now. Expecting this to gradually decrease as it moves over Luzon, but the possibility of flash flooding throughout the central Luzon region here is very high, especially with this farther southern landfall on here in much deforested areas throughout this entire region. Good news is though is that this area throughout here is a very low population, but there are several big cities in the central Luzon right in here, so this region definitely has to watch this as tropical storm force winds extend out very far, and even this typhoon strength winds are actually going to persist throughout the landfall here across Luzon and re-emerging in the South China Sea still as a typhoon. Now here's the zoomed in picture here with super typhoon MEGI just about to make landfall in the next few hours actually, as it's out right in this region. This one's just about an hour old here. Now this is actually making landfall just north of Palanan right in here, but as already stated, typhoon strength winds are actually going to extend out rather far from the core. Even still up near Apari, you're still going to see seeing typhoon strength winds up in this region, and this will also extend throughout the island. So even if you are not on the east coast here, you're still going to be seeing typhoon strength winds on this side of the island as well. And that brings me to the possibility of storm surge. With the storm actually making landfall farther to the south here, you're going to have a very high storm surge in this entire region here as the winds actually rotate cyclonically or counterclockwise around this system. So it's going to be moving basically like that, and they're going to be having a very high landfall or storm surge up in this region. And then I want to also note that as the storm reemerges in the South China Sea, you also have to watch in this entire region here for a possibility of a storm surge, as the cyclonic winds are going to be moving this way as well. So I just want to note this, the storm surge will be still happening on the west side of this island as well as it reemerges in the South China Sea. You will still be seeing sustained winds well above 100 knots, so still a very dangerous situation even if you do live on the west coast of Luzon here. And as already noted as well, the possibility for flash flooding is very strong in central Luzon here, especially in areas of deforestation due to a lack of roots in the ground that doesn't hold the soil in place, so very unstable in those areas. So just to note, if you live in a low-lying area, expect to watch out for any flash flooding and the possibility of mudslides and landslides. So a very dangerous situation as well when it comes to the rainfall with the system. Now, I know all eyes are on the Philippines right now when it comes to MEGI here, but we also have to watch out for the next 96 hours here as this stiff system reemerges into the South China Sea, and it's going to end up recurving to the northwest here, making landfall possibly just to the southwest of Hong Kong. This would be a very dangerous situation if this track actually holds true, because that puts Hong Kong in the right front quadrant of this storm, which is the worst semicircle to be in. So, but the cone still extends all the way from near Taiwan, clear down to about Hue, Vietnam here, and this entire region right in here basically needs to watch this storm very closely, possibly having a very strong landfall as a super typhoon before making landfall here in southeast China. So my thoughts and prayers go out to you here in northeast Luzon. Please stay safe and be cautious. Listen to your local emergency and evacuation procedures, and basically watch the storm very closely and don't underestimate it. This is one of the strongest storms on record. It is definitely ranking up there with Typhoon Tip. It is stronger than what Wilma was, which was the lowest pressure ever recorded in the Atlantic Ocean just a few years ago. So that kind of puts this storm into perspective, though. If you have any questions, though, you can field me to them at westernpacificweather.com. Also find me at storm2k.org. Lots of meteorological sound people there as well that can answer your questions. So also to know, if you're looking for on-the-ground updates, we have a storm chaser at near Apari here. You can find his updates at typhoontheory.com as well. So stay safe out there, everybody. I will have another update again this evening. So, all right, stay safe and goodbye.